Sorry, I'm gonna try to get through this video. I just had to come on here and talk about what's going on with these sweeping tariffs with Donald Trump. It is just so outrageous that I had to come on here. I'm sorry I'm looking rough. It is. I'll have to explain later a little bit what's going on in my own personal things another time. But again, let me make sure my Bluetooth is off. Hey Lloyd. Okay, Bluetooth's off, thank goodness. Hey Lloyd, hey my friend, I'm glad you're here. As far as I know, Lloyd, you keep up with things, so you're gonna know what some of the things I'm talking about. So I always appreciate that. I got some photos that I saved. Here we go. Market recession. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly where we're at right now. Let me go close my door because my kids are out there watching their cartoons. So I'm trying to keep quiet. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. I normally do these videos at night, but I had to come on here because there was just too much going on. And I wanted to see what was unfolding the next day. Whew. All right, let's see. I got my list here, so I'm going to be going off a little bit on my list. All right, so what are these tariffs going to cost you guys? So, some of the people who basically study finances and the economic markets of America and our basically our trade deals and all that stuff. It is going to cost you anywhere between each American family 3,500 to an additional $5,000 with these tariffs. Now, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know what's going on with the Trump administration. I'm always confused as to what's always going on with them because there's just a lot of inconsistencies. It just doesn't seem like anybody oversees anything. There's no decent research going on. There's just nothing, okay? So, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Trump also put a tariff on an American U.S. military base. This is so ridiculous. This is like, who is overseeing this? Like, who's reading? Like, who's reading for this guy? Who's the one that's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. That's a part of our land. Like, it just, he makes no sense. Also, what is it? The Heard and McDonald Island, which is the island people are talking about right now. People are literally laughing at Trump because I guess this island is like not inhabited by any people at all. It's just animals there. It's really just sea lions, fish, you know, like literal like animals. There's no one there. So who would be paying the tariffs there? I would like Trump to answer that because he makes absolutely no sense. Now, I have the list here for the tariffs, and I'm gonna put this up on here. See, I'm gonna see if this list will show up because sometimes YouTube tends to inflate these pictures, make them too big. Look at this. These are the tariffs right here. Now, now people are asking there why isn't like Canada and Mexico on here? So what they're saying is the only reason why Canada and Mexico isn't on this list is because they're currently in negotiations with Trump because of the prior tariffs. So that's the only reason. That does not mean that he won't be putting tariffs on them as well. So they're not like off of this list technically. Also, if you look on here, let's see. Let me see. Trump says, okay, let me see if I can find it here. Okay, so in France right now, they are asking like some political, Russia is not on it. Yeah, what a surprise. They asked up basically this finance professor. His name is Professor Scott Lucas. What was his full name? Professor Scott Lucas. Yeah, that was his name. Okay, so basically he is a professor that basically teaches classes, and he's basically a professional that studies American internal politics and the finances, right? So he was saying that not only is this list a complete false, because some of these countries on this list, the numbers, so they're saying that the blue numbers are basically their current tariffs that these countries are taxing us. It's incorrect. South Korea does not have a 50% tariff on America, not at all. This is actually 1%. So it not only is Trump inconsistent, doesn't do any research, he's a liar. This is not true. Now the EU is on here, the European Union. The European Union, he's saying that they have 39% tariffs on America. That is 1% as well. This is a bold-faced lie. It's incorrect, and it can also be verified online. If you go look this up, it's 100% false. Also, Japan is on here. Let me see. Go down to Japan. Where is it? I'm missing it. I'm missing it, but he also said, okay, 46% here. Japan is a one, two, three, four, fifth. This is a fifth one here. It says Japan has a 46% tariff on the United States. The actual number is 1%. The dude is an actual liar. He is a complete, the whole Trump administration is a liar. Now, why would he be lying about this? Because he's trying to rattle his base. And let's be honest, Trump is not opposed to lying. He's been caught in multiple lies, okay? To say that these people have a 46% tariff tax on us, because tariffs are taxes, just call it what it is. He's not, again, he's been caught in so many lies. He lies so much he can't even follow it. It's quite embarrassing, because these people are going to start coming out, and they already are. They're saying, what is going on here? This is not true. This is not a correct tariff. This number is extremely inflated. This is false. Whew, jeez. Okay, so the Professor Scott Lucas, what he said, that he basically said, this was the dumbest economic speech I've ever seen in my life. Like, this man literally said that. And I have to give all credit to the Midas Touch, because I saw their video. The video was such a great breakdown that I brought some of those facts from this video. So I want to make sure I give them credit, because they put all this information together so that it'll be concise. But I found it to be so good, I was like, let me bring it over here so you guys kind of understand what's going on. He said it was the dumbest economic speech he's ever seen, and it was inconsistent. It was full of falsities. Like, this list makes no sense. And first of all, let's talk about South Korea as well, one of our allies. We have a very large military base in South Korea that's been there for a very long time, okay? And to say that they have, let me see, what did number did he put on here? 50% tariff, and it's actually 1%. To say that our allies have a 50% tariff on us, which is a bold-faced lie, what kind of damage would that, Paris, go, mommy's busy, close the door. Close the door, London. Yes, thank you. Okay, what kind of issues is this going to cause for our relationship with South Korea? A lot of damn issues. A lot. Now, I don't think people are paying attention to this as much as they need to. Some of these countries, they are starting to ally themselves with some of our biggest enemies, and this is very concerning. A lot of these countries are going to Russia, and they're also going to China for a lot of the things that they need that they can no longer get from us. Okay, if we can't provide something, you think that these people are going to continue to trade with us? They don't have to do a damn thing. What they're going to do is go somewhere else to get it. South Korea currently have stopped trading with us so much that they're allying with freaking China. They are literally getting some of their goods in recent times from China. Now, South Korea has always had issues with China. They've always been at each other's necks, okay? So for us to be such at odds with one of our biggest allies, that they would go through to their enemy to start trading, and they're actually, their relationship is actually mending a bit. This is very concerning because Donald Trump, that's why I put in the title isolation. He's isolating the American economy. He is so terrible. He's so bad at being a president. He's so bad at making decisions that he's causing these nations that has always had it out for each other for years upon years, has been at each other's necks for so long. He's so terrible that he's actually causing them to ally with each other against us. What does this mean for us? Huh? It's not good. Now, I've continued to tell you guys the prophecies that I've been having about the America, and that when we fell and that we had a terrible war here against China and Russia that will be coming here, that nobody came to help us. And I've always wondered why. This is why. Broken, fractured relationships. Nobody's going to help us. Why would they help us? We're charging them inflated numbers just for simple goods. We've always had these relationships with these people for many years, and it's always benefit us. One hand washes the other type of thing, you know? Now we don't have that anymore. France is now starting to ally with China as well. They're getting some of their stuff from China now because of Donald Trump. They have started importing a bunch of goods from China. This is very concerning. Now, America's always hated China. And there's a list, there's an economic list that comes out every couple of years when it talk, and it basically breaks down the numbers of what countries has the highest development rates, and basically, you know, more than they're getting more than what they're putting out, right? This list is coming out soon, okay? And it's an economic breakdown. China and Japan will be at the top of this list for the first time in decades. We were number one on this economic list, and it basically talks about growth and income. Even with the debt that we had, that America owes so many of these countries, Mexico, China, all these places, Canada, France, we owe them so much money, and yet we were still able to be number one on this list for many, many years, and we are at the bottom. China and Japan, they're growing so fast. They have so much wealth that they're garnering. They're literally saying that Xi Jinping is sitting back laughing in China. Like there's literally discussion boards in China right now that Xi Jinping is saying we don't have to do anything to America. Whatever plans that we had to be the largest economic power, we will have to scrap those plans because Donald Trump is doing the work for us. They said that Xi Jinping basically said he's just gonna sit back and let Donald Trump do it. He will have to do nothing, and still his plans will be fulfilled through Trump. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, morning everyone. Hi Jack. Morning everyone. I pray that everyone is doing well. The tariffs in 1900s era's thinking. Exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up because I actually want to talk about that. Everything is falling into place. Antichrist system revelation is coming. Exactly. Exactly. Now, what senator was that? Let me see. I wrote his name down. Okay, Senator Rand Paul. He brought up one of our 25th president. Okay, the 25th president, his name was William McKinley. Okay, this man was such a freaking like tariff. They literally nicknamed him the Tariff King. Okay, this man imposed, I believe it was a 50% tariff on, like that's all he freaking did when he was president. Tariff here, tariff there, tariff there. And he was a Republican president. Because of him, because of the tariffs, he put us in a recession. In the, what year was this? Let me see. The 1890s. And it was so horrible for Republicans that even after this, they lost 50% of their seats. Nobody wanted to elect any more Republicans after that because they were so untrustworthy because of those tariffs and that president. And this went down in history to other presidents to say that they would never go that far to put tariffs on this country because of that 25th president, William McKinley. They haven't learned their lesson. And they say that this guy, William McKinley, the 25th president of the United States, is one of Donald Trump's idols for tariffs. And you see it happening right now. History repeats itself because these freaking Republicans, they're losing seats. Not as much as you think right now, but could you imagine for the next election? Could you imagine? Even the people that were devout Republicans, they're going to start voting these people out. They're going to start getting rid of them. Now let's see here. A sitting president, Donald Trump and any other president, okay, they can put a maximum of 26% tariffs on another country, right? Without Congress. So that means that Trump doesn't need to go through Congress if he's putting a maximum of, let's say, 1% to 10 to 26%. So 1 to 26% is the max he can do without Congress. So this list here, as you can see, it's way over 26, except India. Let's say India, so he doesn't really need Congress for that. Anything over 26. And you can see the list is riddled with more than 26%. So I was watching the voting yesterday. So the Democrats and Republicans they were voting yesterday on some of these tariffs, right? If they wanted to yay or nay it, right? Let's see who turned this down. Like some of these Republicans were so outraged that they were like, wait a minute, this is crazy. Like this is dumb. I'm sorry, the picture is squeezed in here. There's 4 people on this list that they're literally, some of these people are Trump supporters, except Mitch McConnell. He's been outspoken. He's not running again. He's just gonna stick with being a senator. Okay, I don't think he's trying to be majority leader anymore. Whatever his position was before, I believe he was House Majority Leader or something. If I'm wrong, correct me. But he definitely was in a higher position than just a senator, right? He's been outspoken that he's no longer supporting Trump. He thinks that the Trump regime is absolutely out of control, especially after the meeting with Zelensky. After this, he was like, "Oh heck no, this is crazy. Donald Trump is out of control." These are the names of the 4 Republicans that voted down Trump's tariff, worldwide tariff. Excuse me. Let me see here. Give me a second, y'all. I have it on my first page. All right, so voted no, and mostly Democrats voted no on this. They thought it was absolutely crazy, of course. So Senator Lisa Marinskowski, I can never say her last name. Senator Rand Paul, I should say actually, Republican Senator Lisa Marinskowski or whatever her name is. Republican Senate Rand Paul. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, Republican Senator Susan Collins. All these 4 people said, "Oh heck no, this is crazy. This is too much." Everything is falling into place. Yes, Antichrist system. I read this. Yes, it's crazy. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is dumb." Mm-mm-mm-mm. Could you imagine the American economy is already bad. Now, for them to project that the additional cost to you as an American, so every household, again, I'm going to repeat this figure. These tariffs are going to cost every single household in America a minimum from $3,500 to $5,000 additionally to what we're already struggling. Could you imagine an additional cost of another $5,000? We just don't have it. This is crazy. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. And I should say, I think I was wrong about Japan. Japan is not 1%. They have a 3.2% tariff, which is very low. And they're wondering, why did Trump do a 10% tax on Turkey? They actually have a pretty high tariff tax on America. So why is it that they're getting like leverage here? This doesn't make any sense. Oh my goodness. All right, so what they're projecting as well, like what would this cost the economy as a whole? Okay, so for the whole American economy, it's going to cost us an additional $1.4 trillion dollars. That's another deficit that we already encountering on top of the deficit that we already have. And also, when it comes to taxes, what additional tax burden will this have in America? $6 trillion. Why do these people keep calling me? Stop calling me. Okay, sorry about that. I can't put this thing on do not disturb without like taking off my internet, which is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to find another way. But these telemarketers keep calling me every day. I literally have to block their number, and it's all some like scam stuff. Stop calling. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, so basically, expect to see Canada and Mexico on that as well. Like as if we can afford this garbage. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about what happened in Florida and Wisconsin. So I guess there was two seats up there. I think it was one or two. I believe it's two. And some of the Democrats were, trying to get those seats, and the Republicans were projected to mostly win Florida because I guess Florida as a whole has always kind of voted Democratic, not Democrat, Republican, because this is more of a red state. But the Republicans actually did win Florida for those seats for I believe it's Congress, and but it wasn't as much as they thought it was. Like I guess one of them won by like 20. Was it less than 20 or 20 points or something like that? But normally it would be like over that, probably like 50. So a lot of them, even though they're glad that they won, they're kind of like a little bit concerned because again, these numbers project something to come in the future that again, just like in the 1890s, that these Republicans start losing their seats. It could be something to come. Now, I'm still concerned about that because like I said in my previous video, Donald Trump really doesn't need 4 years to crash this country. He really doesn't need all that time. I think he really just needs 6 months to crash America. So could you imagine what he would do with 4 years? Absolute disaster. I don't even think that this economy and the country as a whole will even be, how do I put it, a functioning country by the end of the 4 years. I think that it would be decimated even before that. I think in year one, we'll be at such a bad position that I think that I brought this up before as well. Some of these food banks that some of these people visit, I think it's ironic that I've talked about food banks being overrun with people not able to even get food because they're not going to be able to afford to go into the grocery store. They're not going to be able to get things like food stamps and things like that. Those things are severely cut, and I think that it will be a system where a lot of people will become unqualified for that type of thing. So in the past, where they would say this is the income gap for a person to receive public assistance, I believe they're going to lower that so much because of the economy that a person that would be considered poor on paper is not going to qualify. Okay, this is something that I'm projecting. So I believe a lot of people start doing things like going to food banks. Okay, but those systems will be so overrun that it won't be enough food. Now, I brought up this story. There was I forget what state this was in, but there were four food trucks. Okay, four food trucks that were carrying over $2 million worth of food. Trump basically, yes. What's wrong? My makeup come off. That's your lip gloss. Look, I'll come back and do it for you later, okay? Mommy busy. Close the door. Close my door. Thank you, Landon. I love you. She's so cute. I gave her a little lip gloss. She said, my makeup come off. Anyway, those four food trucks that basically Trump canceled them. He basically said, oh no, we're not funding this no more. We're not going to give money to the homeless and the needy. It was basically like a foundation that was distributing this food, and the trucks were on their way to the building to drop off the food. And they told them midway, I'm busy, close the door, okay? Close the door. They told them midway, look, we're canceling it. Cancel the shipment. Cancel it. So the people were just like, wait a minute, what? Like we weren't told that the funding would be cut. So they were already on their way to drop off the food in the four trucks, right? They had to look at their website, basically a website, this government website, to find out that the funding was cut. They didn't even formally tell these people. So the trucks had to turn back. And they have nowhere to put the food. They basically parked these trucks. So there's four trucks. This was weeks ago. So the food is just sitting there. I just told you to close the door. Close it. Close it, please. Pull it in, London. Thank you. So the trucks just sat there, parked, and wasted over $2 million worth of food instead of just giving it to the people that need it. If they were saying, okay, yeah, we're cutting the funding, why tell the trucks to turn back? Trump told them he doesn't care. He'd rather basically waste the food, $2 million worth of food, than to give it to the homeless. Now, if that's not Antichrist activity, mentality, I don't know what is. Basically telling these people, I'd rather you starve. You starve, okay? Before I give you anything. The food's already paid for. Could you imagine all those eggs, all the milk, all the bread, all of the meat that's in those trucks that have literally wasted and rotted? Ridiculous. $2 million lost. And again, that's taxpayer dollars. Trump is not paying for none of this. Now, there is a protest. There's a worldwide protest, or I should say, just in this country. I don't know if other countries will be joining this protest. I know that they're doing their individual protests. I know France is protesting, and Canada has their own protests. But on April 5th, there will be a protest in the United States. Now, I heard all of the states are actually going to do it. There's going to be some issues with this, okay? There's also a lot going to be happening politically on the 5th of April as well. Some people feel like once this starts, a lot of craziness is going to unfold in this country. I think it's going to start, people are going to start, it's going to be like Black Lives Matter all over again. You know what's crazy? A lot of people judge the people that went to the Black Lives Matter um, protests, okay? They call them domestic terrorists because these people were breaking down shops, glass windows, and all that. They were burning cars. We all remember that time. Now, it's funny now that when the black people were doing this, they said that they were terrorists and they need to go to jail. But a lot of white people as well are also protesting Tesla. They're burning down these buildings. Now, I've seen some black people as well, but there's a lot of white people that's been caught doing this stuff. Now, they're not really calling those people terrorists. You see how the roles have reversed? Now, I'm on the fence about this whole protesting thing because I feel like, yes, American people do have the right to protest, but people always look at like vandalism as like this horrible negative thing. Why do you feel like a lot of these people, because this needs to be thought of as well, what would make a person that wasn't prone to vandalism take it to that point? What psychologically, what would make somebody do that? Because again, a lot of these people weren't the type of people to do these things, but now they're getting so infuriated. These people are so angry. Now you're seeing a lot of whites doing this. Now that means something to me, okay? Now these people are saying this man is so horrible. He's so immoral. He's such a bad president. He's such a bad person that it would make these people like say, you know what? maybe a little vandalism is okay. Now, I'm not going to vandalize anybody's property. It's just not something I'm going to do. My protest will be on this channel. This is why I come on here and I talk to my fellow brothers and sisters. And I just want to state that as well. Vandalism is wrong, but I do understand that there's levels to everything. I believe that sometimes people would get so tired, they're so angry, and they're so frustrated that they would do things that they normally wouldn't do just to make a point. Like, listen, I've gone online, I've said my thoughts, I've went to my congressman, I've called around, I've went to the protest, and nobody's listening to me. So what can I do next? Now they're gonna hear me because I've done enough. Now, I can't fault people on that because, in a sense, I understand that. I understand the feeling of feeling helpless and feeling like you're not heard, and that you're going through the proper channels to do things. You're going through the proper ways to do things. Now, like a lot of these Republicans, they say, oh, these people come here illegally. They need to go through the proper channels to get citizenship. A lot of these people were in that process, but they were not given the opportunity to complete those interviews, to complete those paperwork, because a lot of this citizenship stuff, it's a time thing. You don't just go into the damn citizenship building and say, I want to be an American citizen. This all takes time. There's a lot of paperwork to be completed. There's a lot of money to be paid. Okay? Sometimes you may have an appointment with the judge to go oversee your case. There's a lot that goes into this. You can't be hypocritical and say these people need to properly do something and then kick them out the country when they've paid thousands of dollars and went to see judges and caseworkers and all this stuff, because now it makes you seem like you don't really want these people here. You don't care how they, what they're doing to properly become a United States citizen. You don't give a damn. Just be honest and be real with yourself. You don't want Mexicans here at all. Say that. Don't come on the internet and go on your Facebook or your X account and say, these immigrants are ruining America and they come in here illegally and they need to go through the proper things and go through the right way to do things instead of coming here and taking from our system. Do you know that a lot of Americans benefit from illegal immigrants? Now, I'm not saying it's right to come here illegally. These people, when they get jobs, the ones that don't now work under the table, and even the ones that do work under the table, they're being scammed, because a lot of these construction workers, the people that manage those companies, they're collecting taxes off of these people, and they're scamming the system. And I've literally seen so countless videos of people that run these companies that have either gotten caught years later in the jail time, and how they're using illegal immigrants and inflating their paychecks and collecting tax dollars. There's so many ways that you can collect off of these people, and they're illegal. Okay? The people that are here and they're not working under the table, let's say they're on like a visa, right? Like a work visa. They pay into Social Security and they will never get Social Security. They pay into the Medicaid and all that, Medicare, Medicaid. They pay into the healthcare system and they will never really even get healthcare. Look, they're paying into your retirement and they will never get the retirement. So how you're talking about these people, but you're still benefiting from them. Now, some of them could get insurance, like Medicaid. So that, I guess that part's wrong. No, that one's wrong. They could get Medicaid and all that. That they would be eligible for stuff like that. But Social Security, no. There are there are millions of immigrants that have come to the United States on work visa, that have paid millions of dollars into Social Security, retirement, all that, and they would never see a dime from that. But you're getting the money, you Americans that are legal Americans that have lived here, and that's a fact. That is not a theory. Now, these farmers literally cut off their own legs because now they're complaining. All your food's rotting. Trump has cut all these programs, that government funded programs, from all these farms. Now these people can't sustain themselves. They're going into foreclosure. These people are selling their land. If they even have the funds to keep up, their land until they could sell it. A lot of them don't have those funds. It's almost like living paycheck to paycheck for them. Now they don't have the resources, they don't have the food, the people or the staff to sustain that. There's no way they're going to be selling that stuff if it's rotten. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's so outrageous. Like, how the heck are you a Republican? You have migrant workers that are working on your farm, yet you're voting for Trump when you're literally directly benefiting from their labor. Explain that to me. When the days you're not working, you're going to the bar, talking to your little friends, your little Republican mega hat wearing, foolish people, sitting at the bar talking about, yeah, these immigrants, they need to be sent back. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Now you're talking, your words are very powerful. You're out there, you're talking, you're flapping your lips on these people, directly benefiting from their labor, paying them less than most Americans would accept for a job. And now God gave you exactly what you asked for. Don't come on the internet complaining now. Don't. Don't tell people that, oh, Trump, he dismantled um, the agriculture federal aid to us, and now I'm losing my land. I'm gonna have to sell it to China. Are you serious? You did this to yourself. And all you black MAGA supporters, and it's so ironic. I saw this black man, and he was running a farm, right? I guess there was like a federal aid for black farmers, and it basically also, there was a foundation that was government run that helped black farmers that were receiving discrimination from other people, like basically industries and stuff. Like, they stopped that. This foundation was built for them, okay? And not just blacks. If you were Hispanic or whatever, you just have to be a person of color. And they were also receiving federal aid money, okay, to sustain their farm. You know, Trump got rid of that program as well. And this country looking black guy came online talking about, this is so unfair. And then he voted for Trump. It's unfair. Are you dumb? You must be stupid, because you're benefiting from the people's tax dollars to sustain yourself. You voted for Trump, and now Trump cut your legs off. You only have yourself to blame, sir. To me, I'm not gonna lie. I saw some short on here and I commented on it because it was so outrageous. It made no sense. It was two gay men sitting in a room talking about, yeah, I'm gay and I'm a Republican. Being a gay Republican is like being a black KKK member, like Kanye West, huh? It doesn't make no sense, does it? Why would you be a part of a group that doesn't support you? Now, like I've talked about, I don't support homosexuality, but even I can see as a believer that that makes no sense. To me, it's the same equivalent as a gay church, a gay Christian church. That makes no sense. I would think you would want to be with the people that support you, wouldn't you? What Republican is wholeheartedly and honestly supporting another gay Republican? None. They may say it, they may talk to you and make you feel that way, but in their hearts, they don't support you. They will never support you. Now, the protest that's coming on April 5th, a lot of black people on TikTok are saying, we're not going out there. And that's another thing, TikTok. I believe TikTok had a 180-day extension. They have 72 hours to find a buyer or they're getting banned again. Okay? 72 hours as we speak. It might be less because the day has passed. And all the people on TikTok, they're all angry again. It was an extension. Trump gave them an extension. But again, he caused the ban, right? I believe he's setting up TikTok to be bought by Elon Musk. Now, there was a lot of misinformation online. Even I got caught in the misinformation as in who bought TikTok, because I thought it was purchased. And then I think I mentioned this company. I forget the name. But at the time when I researched it, that name was showing up that they bought it. But it's not true. The Asians that own TikTok, they still currently own it. It hasn't been sold at all. Now, Musk might be in the running to buy TikTok. 72 hours? I heard Mr. Beast wants to buy it as well. What's his name? Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, the investor, he wants to buy TikTok. There's a bunch of people that want to buy it. Why the hell would these Asians want to sell TikTok to these Americans? They're profitable. The platform is built on other creators creating content for it. So it's kind of like eBay, right? eBay sets up the platform, the people pay the taxes, they send a product, and eBay does nothing basically. They collect the funds. TikTok has the same type of model, kind of like how YouTube does, right? TikTok creators really don't have to do a damn thing. They just have to make sure their bots and all that stuff works. They don't sell a product. They do nothing. Just like Uber, if it's the same type of industry, Uber was created by some college students. I think it was like four white dudes, right? They set up the platform. The people bring their own equipment, their own car. They have to maintain their own damn insurance, and they collect the funds. Why would TikTok want to be sold? Why would the people that own TikTok want to sell TikTok? It makes no sense. And that's why they couldn't even agree on something when they got the extension. It's like, these are business people. These are businessmen. These are people that study, okay? They study the business and how to be profitable and how to be as hands off as possible. Now, they have a product on their hand that's extremely popular. It is so popular that you know, it is the number one in the App Store across Android and Apple. They really only have to make sure their security systems, which they really don't do, are okay, and their bots and all that. That's computer work, okay? They sell nothing, okay? TikTok store, that's all third party. Everything is third party. Why would they sell a product that they're extremely profitable, that's only growing in numbers year by year? Why? And if they do sell it, let's say they do sell it, their hand would be forced. This would be a forced thing. And on top of that, if they sell TikTok, I can guarantee you, with how profitable it is, the negotiations will probably go on for weeks and months, because they're not going to accept pennies for it at all. It would probably go down in history as one of the largest sales for a platform, for an app, because that's how profitable TikTok is. So TikTok doesn't need a buyer. It really doesn't. Their hand is being forced. Trump is basically trying to racketeer this. He's trying to create a situation where TikTok is so desperate that they have to sell the platform. Now these creators, it's funny how this, what was her name, Madison, whatever, the white girl that was on TikTok that was stealing from other creators. First, she was a Trump supporter. And she was in a video with Trump talking about, I just want to give you a hug because I love you. You're a great man and a great president. But all of a sudden, now that he wants to take TikTok away, she's on her platform on social media talking about, he's the worst president. I don't like what he's doing with TikTok. You see, these people don't give a damn about you, only until it doesn't benefit them. And on April 5th, all these people, all the Mexican people, all the Colombians, all these people, that that left their countries and stuff, saying that they were escaping poverty and persecution, all these people that voted for Trump, you better be at that protest. Now the black people are saying, no, we're not gonna go, because say over 92% of black females voted to for Kamala Harris to keep Trump out of the White House. And as a whole, I think they said 75% of black people voted to keep Trump out of the White House and voted for Kamala Harris. So the black people on TikTok are saying, oh, we're not going. We're not doing this. This is crazy. We're going to stay home because we feel like we're being targeted because Trump is trying to get us out there and then call us basically terrorists. It's going to be like BLM all over again. This is what people fear. They're going to say that, these black people are violent terrorists. So they said that we feel like we're in danger. We ain't going. And I can't even really blame them. I cannot blame them for not wanting to go. But I will say this, and I'm 100% on the black people's side for saying this, and I understand why. I will say this: the state of America will become at some point become so horrific that at some point, it may not be now, it may not be later, but it's coming, that black people will eventually can't avoid these protests. That's how bad it's going to become. And I am going to stand on what I'm saying here, because this, and I'm saying again, the state of America and the politics and the economy are going to become so horrific that even black people will start changing their mind later, because they're going to have to get out there and protest eventually, because that's how horrific it's going to become in this country, that even they themselves can't avoid these, and they're going to say, "Oh my god, this is outrageous." That's how bad it's going to get. Now it's up to them still individually, if they want to go later, but I do believe that that's how bad it's going to get. This man is single-handedly destroying this country, and people are allowing him to do it. Outrageous. And stupidest trade war in history. Stupid. Now let's talk a little bit about Barack Obama. And if you guys are still there, feel free to comment. Trump, again, I brought this story up before. Trump is trying to change the law. And this is why a lot of people believe he's the Antichrist, in addition to many other reasons of how he's fulfilling Bible prophecy. I no longer believe that um, Barack Obama is the Antichrist. Trump fits the bill perfectly. He has fulfilled so many prophecies, and many of them, I should say, that Barack Obama has never fulfilled. Trump is trying to change the law to the for the term limits. He wants to extend it to a president can serve 3 terms. Okay, so basically, he wants to put in writing into a bill, or basically whatever, right, into the Constitution, into the Constitution, I should say, that, and this is how he's trying to isolate Barack Obama and people like George Bush from ever running again. He wants to put that a president that has served 2 consecutive terms cannot use this new term limit, right? But let's say he does try to put this through, and they say, Congress says, "Oh no, that's silly as heck. If you say a president that served 2 consecutive terms can't run again, that's very specific." Okay, what if they say, "Yeah, we'll approve it to another term, but we won't put that part in"? That would give Barack Obama an opportunity to run again, in addition to George Bush. Could you imagine Barack Obama and Trump facing off in another election? Now that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Look at this. TikTok has 72 hours to find an American buyer, or the app will be banned again in the US. Trump executive order extended and expired on April 5th. Isn't that an interesting number? Because this is the exact day that the people will be protesting in every state in America. Congress passes the law, and the Supreme Court appeals it. Isn't that ironic? There's a lot going to be happening on this day in particular. Not just the protests and this. There's a lot happening. If you're keeping your ears to to the news and all that, and to the streets, there's a lot happening on that day. Be very wary on this day. A repeat. This is the repeat of history. This is William McKinley right here. This is him. This is the man that Trump idolizes with the tariff war. This is him. His tariff implementation on the United States was so horrible that he was putting us in a recession, and that people thought Republicans were so stupid and untrustworthy that they lost 50% of their seats and weren't able to recover them for over 60 years. This is the man that he wants to be like. Wow. See, in 1890, commonly called McKinley Tariff, was an act of the United States Congress framed by Representative William McKinley. I don't know if he was a representative now, but he was also 25th president. That became the law in October 1st, 1980. The tariff rise, the average duty on imports, an almost 50% increase in designed to protect domestic industries and workers from the foreign competition. As promised in the Republican platform, Representative, oh gosh, protectionism? I've never seen that word before. I didn't know that was a word. A policy supported by Republicans and denounced by Democrats. It was such a bad idea. It was so bad for the economy that people literally referenced this man to never be like this president. Never ever do what he did. They said, "Oh, McKinley, oh, that was terrible. That was a terrible time in America. That was stupid." The tariff king. The tariff king. This is the man he wants to be like. I can't stop laughing because he was so unpopular. This guy was so unpopular, and people thought his policy was so stupid because it costed people. And Trump wants to be just like him. But let's be honest. Let's be very honest. This is who he really wants to be, who he actually is. The devil himself. His father, the devil, full of lies. And the liar himself, Donald Trump. He's a liar. He's proud, he's boastful, he seeks to change laws and times. Eventually, what will happen in this country is that, just like the Antichrist prophecy that will be fulfilled, is that Donald Trump will eventually turn against his own base, which he's doing now, targeting red states with all these, cuts. Because the way it works, I don't know if these people know this in red states, but let's say, and this is why this whole Department of Education thing is really dumb. It's really stupid, honestly, if you think about it, because each state, that has an overflow of funds, they give to the next state if they're at a deficit. So, for example, let's say there's a red state that really needs money for the education system, the public school education system, right? Let's say they have an adjacent state that's a blue state that has, maybe in that year they've made over the amount that's needed. Then they will take those funds from the other state and give it to them to, to fill in that gap. Now Trump has returned, which he says he's returned all of that to the individual state, which means because he's, cut the funding, each of those states have to cover their own deficits. Now, how are they going to do that? Let's say the school system there needs about $2 million. They'll take from the blue state and give it to from take from the blue state, give it to the red state. Now they can't do that anymore. So if they're at a deficit and they don't have the books, they don't have the money to cover the education system or to get teachers to fill in, where there's teachers needed, they can no longer do that because the state itself has to basically find the money. Where? If they don't have it, where are they going to get it? If their GDP is not that good, where are they going to get that money? Now this is a problem. This is a problem for these people. They're cutting already. They're cutting these jobs. They're cutting all these people that run the education system, which is a big problem. And now they're not going to have the funds to take care of themselves, take care of these systems that run their damn state. Now, what are they going to do? What are these people going to do? He's going to make them suffer. That's what he's going to do. You can look it up now. Like, these people don't know this. The people in the red state, they don't understand how funds are being moved around this country. So it's out of pure ignorance, or they think that Trump's tariffs are going to cover everything. You can't use tariffs to cut taxes. Because his plan, this was his plan. He said that when he was running again, he's going to get rid of the tax program in America. So basically, we wouldn't pay taxes anymore in this country, right? I can guarantee you that's a lie. I can guarantee you that Donald Trump will never get rid of the tax system in this country. He's collecting way too much money. The government themselves they're getting too much money from us. Trillions of dollars paid into taxes every year. What he's gonna do is gonna keep the tariffs and he's gonna keep collecting taxes. I can guarantee you. And I told you guys on my channel, these Republicans that say that Donald Trump, he's gonna go ahead and give us those $5,000 overpayment from Doge. No, he's not. I I I promise you, you will not get this money from Doge. You will not get a stimulus. They're calling it a stimulus. It is not a stimulus, and you will not receive it. Elon Musk is going to be stepping down in May. And there's a couple reasons why he's stepping down. I guess when you create like another department in government that's not like official, I guess they only have an allotment of days, weeks, or whatever that they can fulfill those roles. His time is coming in May, so that would be the end of that contract for him, right? That's not the only reason why he's leaving. I heard that he might even leave earlier than May because his companies are failing and he's so unpopular. This man spent over $20 million in Wisconsin to get this freaking judge, this Republican judge, to be voted in. And not only did he lose, he lost miserably. They voted in a woman that was a Democrat. Now, Trump is not happy about that. He is not happy. Elon Musk is spending more money than he's getting into his companies right now. People are asking him to step down or come back to work because this is ridiculous. Your cars are being recalled. Almost all of those Cybertrucks have been recalled. He's widely unpopular. The American people hate him. Okay, they don't want him there. And he's going to be leaving soon. Let's see if he actually leaves. I mean, he has to go, regardless. But now, the people on the internet are saying, the people that are crashing his stock and all that and stuff, and vandalizing his Tesla dealerships and all that, the people that are returning his cars, they're saying that they don't care if he steps down. After he leaves, they will still continue to protest him because they hate him in some form or fashion by boycotting Tesla. They said that they're going to continue to do it because they feel like he's used his position to show his true colors, and his reputation will never recover. Now, I believe them. I believe these people are going to continue to make Elon Musk pay for this. I think the people should start leaving X as a whole, celebrities and all, because now he's made it a paid program, right? A subscription base. A lot of these celebrities are paying in for their check marks and all that, right? Just start leaving. I would just delete my account. Any stock that you have in Tesla, I used to have Tesla stock. I've been sold that long time ago. I was losing money on it. I had to sell it. If you have Tesla stock, just sell it. Sell that crap. It's crap. Musk was out there campaigning for this guy, this Republican guy, with a cheese hat on his head. People are making fun of him. Like, you know what? I'm no politician, okay? But I do know that when you're a politician, people need to trust you. You need to be able to give a good speech and be confident in the way you speak. Elon Musk speaks like he's on the spectrum. Now, I'm not trying to diss anyone because I do believe I'm on the spectrum somewhere. I have to be. I literally have ADD and I'm pretty sure a little bit ADHD, okay? Because I was that person that, was in special ed when I came to the United States. Not only because I had a very hard Jamaican accent and people couldn't understand me, so I had to go to speech classes, but the way I learn and the way other people learn is vastly different. You got to go a little bit slower with me, and I need to be explained things, okay? So I know what it's like to to not understand and to process things a little bit different. But the way he talks like some of the kids like that I would see in my school, in my classes that were in special education. He talks like these same kids. It's kind of like his motor skills and the processing is slower. And that's sometimes that's a clear sign of like autism. I think he is actually autistic. Now, that's not to diss him because a lot of people who have autism are actually very bright. And some not so much. It really just depends on how your mind processes things, how your brain processes things. Because that's another misconception. People have this idea that all autistic kids are bright. No, they're not. No, they're not. Now, okay, now Musk speaks, his pattern of speaking is kind of like his brain is processing the words and it's not coming out correctly. He's like, and Social Security is, it, it's it's a fascist program. Like, what are you talking about? Me as a person watching you as now you're a political figure, right? People want to hear confidence. They want to be assured of what you're saying that you believe it. Okay, he talks like he doesn't even believe what he's saying. What exactly the formulating of his sentences, like the way he speaks, just seems very lost and confused. Has he always been this bad at giving speeches? Like, I don't even know. I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know if it's just something that people are just noticing because they hate him so much and he's just become so unpopular. But prior to this, prior to Musk having a position in Doge, I've always said I never trusted him. It's crazy. There was a woman that came on my channel and I was talking about Elon Musk years ago before this happened, and I said he's off. And she was like, "No, no, sister. He's a truth teller. He's trying to expose the demonic and all this stuff in the industries." And I'm like, "How? He's a part of it." Like, I never understood that. There are some people prior to this that considered Elon Musk to be one of these whistleblowers. I never thought that way about him. I always thought he was off. He was weird. Okay, no, he's a socially awkward. He is very. I think he on a spectrum somewhere as well. But and even his teacher thought he was off when he was in school. The teacher said he'd just be staring out the window, mindlessly staring out of the window. And she literally said she thought that he was retarded. She told his father, his teacher, thought he was retarded. But anyway, Musk is Musk is panicking. Okay, I've heard weird stories about him over the years of like some of his business associates. They said that he's done weird stuff. Like, for example, they'll be talking to him and sometimes he's like very charismatic and like encouraging, and then he will just flip like at the drop of like and just turn very dark. Like they even said like even this energy in the room changed where he's like they said that he turned into the devil. Like, this is the terms that they were using about Musk. Like, he turned into a demonic entity. Like, he would like the way he was staring to their souls and the way his eyes almost went black. Like, who is this man? Who is he? People used to think I used to think that he was just like this great guy. Like, and I've always like thought that people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they're very I'm gonna say this term. I heard Little Kim use this term years ago when her and Nicki Minaj were at odds, because Nicki Minaj she's a very petty person, and I think she's a very narcissistic. She used to do things where she would talk bad about this woman in her music, and then when the lady would call her out, because they, subliminal messages, right? When she would call her out, she would say, "I don't know what she's talking about," or she would say something very direct, right? That's also a spiritual thing too, because people who are very dark and they have demonic presences, they will do that. Like, you will come into a room. Let's say, for example, this is a silly thing, right? Let's say this is just an example. Let's say you told this girl, right, that you don't like the color red because that red just it triggers something in your mind. And let's say you're in conversation with 10 people in a room, and the other people in the room don't know that you told this girl, "I don't like the color red because it just does something to me," right? She'll come in the room and say something like, let's say, for example, "Oh, because we don't want to be like the people who don't like the color red because that triggers them. They must have something wrong with them. They must be a twink, must be flake." Must be weird. But they don't know that you had the conversation with that person, right? So that's a direct message to you, the direct insult to you, without the other people being involved in that, not knowing the details, because they're sending a message to you to insult you, to berate you, to put you down. That's a very narcissistic trait. People who have narcissism, they tend to do things like that. They use your personal information against you, right? And then I guess Lil Kim had referenced like Nicki Minaj was that type of person, and she called her a very contradicting creature. And I said, wow, that's a very powerful term. That's a powerful term right there, because there are some people on this earth that are contradicting creatures. Okay, Donald Trump is a contradicting creature. He talks about Christianity and God, but he doesn't repent. He doesn't read the Bible. He doesn't know any scriptures in the Bible, but he himself has ignited his base with this cloak of Christianity, this performative Christianity. He says the things that he believes Christians want to hear, like, oh, we shouldn't waste our tax dollars on transgender surgeries. That's absolutely true, right? The devil mixes truth with lies. He knows that saying those things are going to automatically relate to somebody like me or somebody like you who is a Christian that thinks that these type of things are outrageous anyway. But at the same time he's saying these things, he's only saying them to be relatable, to pull you in. He's saying these things to you because he wants you to feel like, I'm just like you. But in his personal life, he doesn't give a damn about these issues. He doesn't care. He's going to enforce these things because he thinks that this is what you want to see. But at the same time, living a life and speaking in a way that's very contradictory to the life of a Christian person or any follower of God. That's a very contradicting creature. Now, Elon Musk carries that same spirit. Before him being in any type of positions in power in the government, I noticed that Elon Musk would get on these podcasts and these shows, and he would talk about the advancement of AI and how dangerous it is. There's literally countless videos online prior to him being in Doge about how he fears the advancement of technology and robots and how he doesn't feel like it will be productive for AI to get too advanced because it would cause irreparable damage to not just America but the whole world. But at the same time, he invests in his companies in AI and robots and artificial technology. Now that's a very contradicting creature. Doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense at all. You're directly benefiting these industries, advancing these industries, at the same time speaking against them and saying how dangerous it is, but you're contradicting yourself even in your own business. That's not a person you can trust. And if you trust someone like that, you're a fool. That's like me saying, for example, let me just say this. I'm against racism, okay? Let's say I said I have a very strong political view to be against racism, but I go outside and slaughter white people. Would that make sense to you? If I said that, you know what, as a whole, I don't think any race is better than the other. And I don't think we should be fighting each other. We should come together. But at the same time, in my personal life, I go outside and just kill white people because I'm hateful. Does that make any sense to you? What if I used my funds to directly, you know, improve and add to the US economy with like industries that support anti-racism, but then in my personal life started just killing whites? That's crazy. That is crazy. Because if you're against racism, you have to be against racism for all, not just black, not just Hispanic, but for also for whites. So if I said that, I would be a hypocrite. I would be a liar. That's insane. That is what Donald Trump does, and that's what Elon Musk does. Contradicting creatures. Hey Susan, what the heck? Trump's the devil. It's real early here in it's 2:40 a.m. I'm on night shift. Hey Bushfly. Hey my friend, I am so sorry. I was just on a roll. No, he's a socially awkward. Yes, I read this one. My friend, I definitely believe this is the Antichrist. He is the devil. So if that's your question, that's an absolute yes for me. But I get your point, lol. That's what I'm saying. It would be insane. Let me just give another extreme case. What if I said that I was against trafficking, human trafficking, and I gave to foundations that prevented human trafficking, and then at the same time, I was a human trafficker. I was going on the street in a crazy white minivan, picking up people and selling them. What kind, what kind of person would I be, right? A hypocrite. A hypocrite. That's insane. And this is the type of thing that Trump does. And then the thing is, many of these people are calling out the people in his base in these red states, and they're like showing them direct lies that Trump has told. So many lies that we can't even keep up. And then they ask them, you know, this on this day at this time, Trump lied about this. What do you think about that? And then they say, well, we know he lies. This is crazy to me. They say, oh, we know he's lying. We just thought he said that just to win the campaign and to get people more interested. So he's a liar. He's contradicting himself. But then you get mad when other people call him out. You know that the man that you're supporting is a liar. So that's what you're telling me. You're not saying he's not a liar. You're saying he is a liar and you're okay with him being a liar as long as he wins. You asked for a king and God gave it to you.
Mommy.
All of you Trump supporters, you people that love him unconditionally, and I have to say unconditionally because in your eyes he could do no wrong. What did he say? I could walk on Manhattan and Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and never go to jail. All of you people that gave him your undivided, unconditional love, you're going to pay for that because you put a man above God himself. You put this man, a liar, a cheat, and a deceiver, above Jesus Christ himself. What kind of Christian would support someone like this? The Bible calls the devil the father of lies. And you're supporting a liar? No liar, no whoremonger, no homosexual, no drunkard, no murderer will inherit the kingdom of heaven. And this is what you align yourself with? What kind of standard do we have as American people, American Christians, to support this demon that is working overnight to not only destroy your life, but your neighbor's life, your neighbor's life? He's literally impacting everyone in America in a negative way, somehow, some way. And it's funny, I was talking to my mom a couple weeks ago on the phone, and I said, this man stresses me out so much spiritually. Like, this is what I feel every time Trump has been in office, the 2 terms that he served, my anxiety goes through the roof. Okay? Because I told you, God gave me a very high spirit of discernment. Look, I can pick up on certain things that people just don't see. I can see demons on people. He carries this spirit, this spirit on him that is so evil. It literally makes me feel like my spirit's on fire, like fight or flight, like I need to run out of the room. That's how concerned I am for this country because of him. He carries this demonic spirit with him that is so agitating. Okay, to the point where I said to my mom when I was on the phone with her, I said, and she laughed because she thought it was funny. I said, he gives me so much anxiety and stress. I feel like I need to sue him for emotional distress. She thought it was funny. And I said all of the American people should band together and have like this huge like lawsuit against him. You know how they do those joint lawsuits? and sue him for emotional distress. He's that horrible. Looks like China will invade Taiwan. Trump is already at war with Houthis and basically Iran. Exactly. And the Iran war, that's coming because that's what Israel wants. And that Trump's a lackey for Israel, sending all of our money over there to Israel to fight no, excuse me, to have no real fight in a war but a genocide. Eventually, China will invade them in Taiwan. China's wanted to take over Taiwan for years. They've always wanted to take them. Look, they feel like that needs to be a part of China for many years. Listen, our allies, South Korea, all these people, they're already gearing up to find other protections. I wouldn't be surprised that eventually South Korea is gonna say that their U.S. military needs to get the heck out of there. They're gonna find a way that to militarize themselves and find other protections. They're gonna say, listen, what you did to Zelensky and you did over there to your own allies, we can't trust you because if you turn your back on Zelensky, because we literally have a treaty with them that if anything ever happens over there, any wars or whatever, that we would back them, and we have not done that. That is why they don't have a military. That is why they weren't able to defend themselves because they gave up all their arms. Now, stop it, Paris.
Okay.
Okay, stop it. Anyway, once South Korea saw what we did, they're starting. Look, these people are starting to do what they need to do because they're saying, "Oh heck no, the U.S. is not trustworthy. If anything, having this military base here is a detriment to us because at any time, if Trump decides that he doesn't want our relationship, he could turn on us, and we wouldn't have no way of defending ourselves. Having this base here, we would be obliterated. They're literally right in our backyards. They're gonna tell them to leave eventually." Like, oh no, we don't want the U.S. here. You're gonna see increasing, countries, nations talking about get the heck out of here, get the U.S. military out of here. We don't want this anymore. We don't feel protected. We feel like we have an enemy in our backyard. That's what's gonna happen. People think this is a joke. These Republicans, these people in these red states, they're online, they're delusional, they're finding any way to defend Trump because they think that, oh, you know what? Just like Trump said, we're going to suffer for a little bit. Things are going to get hard for a little bit. Let me tell you something. It's not going to get better. Do you understand that we are in the last days? Does that not click in your head that if the Antichrist is ruling in this nation, that you are in the last days? What does it say in the Bible that will happen after that? Complete destruction after destruction after destruction until Jesus has to come to fix it. So, what in your mind? And I'm just going to assume that these people just don't read the Bible, just like Trump. Are you not reading the same scriptures I'm reading in Revelations? I have to wonder about these people. I have to wonder why you don't see that this man lines up with Bible prophecy in every way. How don't you see this? And again, Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, is not out of the equation. This Jared Kushner is evil. Trump aligns himself with very questionable characters, demonic figures. The Antichrist is not coming alone. He will have his supporters with him and the backing of his demons and his devils with him. Elon Musk being one of them. Musk thinks that he's going to go to Mars and colonize Mars. No, that's not what he's going to do because God is going to humble him. What do you think why do you think any man in this earth can escape reaping what you sow? Elon Musk took these people's jobs. He took my job. He took all these people's jobs, fired all these people, took these veterans' benefits. And he didn't think that this would come back to him some way, somehow. Spiritually, do you know what you're doing to yourself when you do things like that? Especially when you're a person of much wealth. It only takes a snap of a finger for God to say, cut that branch down. Cut that branch down, for it's an abomination unto me. Elon Musk is an abomination. He's so hated in this country. that people are literally using him as a shield. Now, some of these Democrats are literally making jokes. They're saying things like, hey, if Elon Musk can do this in Wisconsin, if his presence there and his money is so impactful that he made this Democrat win, not only by a little bit, by a lot, keep him around. We want him because he makes Republicans look stupid. He makes them look so silly that they're cutting off their own legs and they're getting voted out. So keep him on. Don't let him go in May. Keep him here. He's great for Trump. He's great for the Republican Party. And I have to agree. We're gonna miss you, Elon, when you leave in May or earlier. Because again, you were the shield for this demon here. People hate you so much. The people, it's like misplaced hate at this point. Some of the stuff he's getting hate for that Trump told him to do. Really, really, the people, and I wholeheartedly believe this, the people in his base, in Trump's base, they really hate Trump now. And they really want to, they really want to say things against him, but they have to try to stick together and stick to their base. And they need someone, they need a scapegoat to blame. And the scapegoat is Elon.
Elon? Mommy.
I can see it in their faces. I can see it in the way that they're talking. That the some of the hate, because a lot of it Elon does deserve, but a lot of it as well, there's a portion of it is misplaced because it belongs to him. The animosity and the hate belongs to Trump. Elon Musk is just his human shield for the crap show. And once Elon's gone, who's left for the hate? JD Vance, Marco Rubio, and Trump.
Trump.
That's my daughter. I'm sorry. This is Miss Paris. Say hi.
Hi.
That's my baby girl. Oh my God, you can't even escape the memes. Look at this. I got one right here. Look at JD Vance.
Hi.
Stop. Look at this. Look, this is one of the memes that are online of him. And look at this one. Look, he's Evanescence. You know the Evanescence album? Oh my gosh. Look at him. Look at that smug smile. Stand you either. Once Elon's gone, just... Guys, close the door. Close it. Go. Did you take the candy? You did? You...
Mommy, pass in my candy, Mom.
Okay, go. You guys took the whole bag. Go, take it. Close the door. Close the door, Paris. Thank you.
I want to see Elon.
No, you don't want to see Elon. He's terrible. Close the door. Close it, Paris. Anyway. It's hard to keep up with end times birth pangs, earthquakes and storms, floods, fires going crazy. Yes. And that's another thing coming to this country. In addition to all this foolishness, that stuff is coming as well. Hey, Sheepy Leapy. Looks crazy. It does, doesn't it? Oh, isn't he pretty? Paris, go. I'm going to lock that door because you keep opening it. Hey, I'll come back later. Close the door. She said she want to see Elon. Looks crazy. Let me see. I saw this picture the other day. Look, if you squint your eyes, you'll see Jesus in there. Just squint just a little bit, you'll see him. You see it? I sent this to a friend the other day because I thought it was so cool. It's these 3 girls. But again, squint your eyes just a little bit. Pretty cool, huh? I love stuff like this. It's so cool to me. Anyway. Now there's some people that they're trying their best. They are trying their best. Bernie Sanders has been doing really well with his anti-oligarch tour, and he's been going around the United States. And people are backing him. People are giving him money. They're funding him. Thank God for people like Bernie Sanders trying to get Trump out of here. Bernie Sanders, my hat's off to you, man. They should have really voted him in when he ran, because having Trump here is a disaster. You know what's crazy? Even his own base, even the people that support Trump and voted him in, they're like, man, he's just terrible. Like they're like, man, he was pretty bad in his first term, but even now he's even worse. You're saying that and you still voted for him? What is wrong with people? Look at him with his gun and blood on. It's the blood of America on his shirt right there. Basically, the blood of the saints. Because what's going to happen eventually, and mark my words, like the Antichrist he is, and fulfilling prophecy, eventually Trump is going to turn against all of us Christians, all of us Bible believing Christians. And I'm not talking the fake ones that follow him, because they're under this mind control, this spiritual mind control. He can do no wrong. He's the second coming of Christ. You idiots, you fools. I'm talking about real people that know that this man is evil. The real people like you and I. Eventually, he's going to come for all of us. Now, there's a lot of immigration lawyers that are saying right now, if you're in the United States and you have a green card or you're naturalized, even if you're a citizen, don't leave. They're telling us now. That is a double-edged sword, because many people are leaving the United States. They're going to Canada. They're going to some people are Caribbean and going back to the Caribbeans. Um, a lot of people are from France. They're going back to France. Like, they don't want to be here. There's a mass exodus happening right now. At some point, they're even saying that they feel like you should get your passport now, because eventually that system's going to be, held up, because there's so much request to get the passports. Even Master Voice Lady said that months ago before all this happened. And I believe her. Get your passports. But these immigration lawyers are saying things like, if you're here, you got a green card, you're being naturalized, don't leave, because you're gonna have a very difficult time coming back into the United States. And that's true. What they're doing now, and this is not a joke, you can look this up, fact check it yourself. These immigration lawyers are saying, if you have anything online pertaining to Donald Trump or speaking against him in any way, opposing him in any way, to delete it, because they're going to try to stop you from even traveling back and forth. And if you leave, you can't come back, because they're going to say that you're an enemy to the state, you're an enemy to America. That's what they're saying. They're saying that they're telling all your clients, listen, you got anything on Facebook? Delete that right now. Delete your account. Okay, don't even just delete it. Delete the account. Okay, anything on X? Delete the account. Not just the post. Because I can't work with you, because eventually, they're going to start cracking down on y'all. They said that at the borders, they're asking them, hey, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. I thought this was protected, like have your privacy laws. They're not. They don't care. Like this again. This is a lawless administration. This is a lawless man. Just like the Bible describes the Antichrist to be a lawless person that will seek to change times and laws. Eventually, now he's talking about, like, law stuff that he wants to overturn because it benefits him, like getting a third term. What happens when he start moving to religious stuff, right? Because he's already talking about that stuff now, right? What's going to happen then? Is his base going to regret it then when he starts persecuting them? See, oh, you got, line of Judah on here talking bad about Trump and try to deport people like me. Okay? People who have green cards are protected. Okay? The guy that they have in basically a slave labor camp that was protesting against the war in Israel, the genocide, the man has no criminal record. He was basically just protesting, and they said that he was a Hamas supporter. His lawyer is trying to get in contact with him, can't get in contact with him. His pregnant wife is alone, literally in distraught, trying to get more information about this guy. They can't find him. This is very scary. Again, he's broken no laws. The Jewish people that were attending the same college as him, they said that when there was protests happening on the college and he was protesting the war, When people started attacking the Jewish people, he stopped them and said, "Don't we don't do that. We don't do that." And they supported him. They said, "This is crazy." He said, "This man is not a radical extremist. He was just protesting for his people." And the fact that they deported this man into a slave labor camp, they said it's outrageous. Even the Jewish people said it was outrageous. And they can't, this man's lawyer can't find him. Where is this man? Get out of the room. I'm tired of asking. Close the door. Jeez, they get really loud. That's why I do this at night. I'm so sorry. Do you think another attempt will be made on Trump's life? Absolutely. Absolutely. I am so glad you brought that up. Now, I'm going to speak very cautiously now because, again, please support this channel. And I'm not talking money. Don't send me any money. I'm not asking for a dime from you. Give it a like or whatever. Give the video a like. Support these channels that are, telling you the truth and telling you to be wary, because eventually channels like this, they're going to try to get rid of it. They're trying to ban people from talking about Donald Trump. And that's what the Antichrist will do in the last days, because he doesn't want people opposing him. He wants to be a full dictator like Xi Jinping. He wants to be a dictator like Putin. That's his aim. That is his goal. Now, I want to bring a prophecy that I have never shared on this channel. A couple years ago, before Donald Trump, okay, before he even ran, I was like kind of thinking about the American government system, right? I was like, man, some of the way it works is just so corrupt. And then I was thinking, what if we had something a little bit better? Like, what would that look like? And that's funny because a lot of times when I'm thinking in my head like that, God will bring me into a vision. And it's like I'm asking myself questions, but He'll answer it for me. I went to a vision. Hold on, guys. Guys, be quiet, please. I went into a vision. It was very short, though. In this vision, I saw people voting, and they had these. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Guys, you're too loud. Go out there now. You cannot have any more candy. You ate the whole bag. It's too much candy for you. You don't need another dentist appointment. One of my kids literally broke a tooth. I had to take her to the dentist. She had to get a cap. So she asking for more candy. It's not going to happen. But I went into a vision, right? When I was like thinking, like, what would a better system even look like? In this short vision, I saw people voting, but they're not voting like they are now. Now, people could register to vote online and they go to those voting polls, right? In the future in this country, if we even have, I think it would be a very short span of people even being able to vote, okay? I saw them using a device, a square device, and they were pointing it at the TV to vote. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I was questioning the vision. It looked like a cell phone, okay? In the future, people not going to vote at voting polls. It's going to be all digital. It's going to be people going to be voting on their phone, their electronic devices, okay? And I saw something specifically happening with Congress, okay? In this vision, I saw that there was a sitting U.S. president, and he was talking about how much Congress gets paid, okay? There was a breakdown of like, in each congressman, like this is how much we pay them, and there was an issue with the American people, and they're like, why are we paying these people? Why don't we put somebody in there that basically gets paid a standard pay, just like the American people, so that they can relate to them? And I was like, whoa, that's not a bad idea. It's almost like an extreme demotion, right, in a sense, but at the same time, it would benefit the American people to have a blue collar working person in Congress. Now, I think that sometimes it is the way it is currently, the system of why people in Congress are being paid a certain amount to, have some type of form of protection. Because if you pay somebody pretty low, What happens in the future if you're not paying them a decent wage? Corruption. People are going to start stealing. They're going to start lying. They're going to start taking money from lobbyists. But to be honest, that's still happening now. You're already paying Congress pretty decently off the American tax dollar, but they're still accepting money under the table. I don't care what no one says. All of them do it. All of them do it. It's just who gets caught. Okay? So I could just imagine what Trump's doing behind the scenes. Okay? And I want to bring another point as well. I saw this man talking about Donald Trump and his coin, and I never thought about this until he brought it up. He said that the coin that Donald Trump has in that app store, the Trump coin, it's basically a corrupted embezzlement. It's like kind of having a direct connection to Trump, for these people, these world leaders, to do whatever they want with him, because all they have to do is present him with money, because he loves money, doesn't he? All he does is talk about gold. His homes are decked out in gold, gold toilets, gold figurines, gold everything. Even the White House, you know, that the fireplace that they always decorate, he removed all the stuff from there, the plants, all that, and put all gold statues. That's all he cares about: funds, money, gold, and attention. Attention and money is his favorite things. Boastfulness. But anyway, anybody can buy those stocks into Trump coin. They can buy as much as they want. It's not limited to anybody. You could be a Saudi Arabian prince and buy a bunch of Trump gold coins. All you really got to do is buy a bunch of it and tell him, listen, I need you to do this and that for me. You know, I see that you're doing all these good things for Russia. How about I bought, you know, about a $10 million worth of your Trump coin? This is so corrupted. People never even thought of that. And I was like, whoa, that is very significant. That's very significant. Anyone that wants something out of Trump, all they really need to do is invest in him financially. That's it. And it's not illegal for any person to buy those Trump coins. They could embezzle to a bunch of money to him and have him do a favor for them. That's all. That's all he really needs. And you see this even in the pattern currently with him. This man let out a bunch of damn rappers, convicted felons, out of jail just because they paid for a pardon for him. That is extremely illegal. And I could even bring up one example right now. Kodak Black, the rapper Kodak Black. A person that is literally pushing demonic rap music into the black community and just the youth community in general. This man was going to be in jail for a very long time. Now, Kodak Black's manager, his people, his associates went to Trump and asked Trump to give him a pardon. Trump doesn't know who a damn Kodak Black is. He's just some random rapper with a crazy hairstyle. I'm pretty sure he has absolutely no idea who he is. None. A Kodak Black to Trump? Who is that? Who? What's that? Is that a camera? Like this is the type of thing I'm talking about. I'm 100% sure he has no idea who he is. How the hell? How the hell did Kodak Black get a pardon from Donald Trump? Money. Money. It's a paid pardon. This is a very corrupt man, a very corrupt individual. And you have him as a president. Man with multiple failed businesses, multiple lawsuits of not paying contractors to finish all of these projects for his damn hotels, all this. He's a liar and he's a thief. And I'm pretty sure till this day he still doesn't know who Kodak Black is. But you know what he knows? This. Can you produce the money? Can you invest in my campaign? Can you buy my Trump coins? That's all he cares about. This is sad. This is very sad. We just had a young lady escaping domestic violence move next door. I am just wondering how long before her ex finds her and troubles start up. That is sad. I am so sorry. That is if I was her, I'll go get a weapon. Right. I would go get a weapon if I was her. These people, that experiencing domestic violence, this is not something to play with. She needs a weapon. Heck, I have a weapon. Anybody trying me and my kids, I'm sorry. It's me or you. And it's definitely not going to be me. In Jesus' name, I got to protect my kids. They little girls and they need me. I'm all they got. But but like you said, my friend here, you ain't ready. Part two, in the comments here. Do I think there'd be another attempt on Donald Trump? Absolutely. And again, I had to tread lightly here before they said that, these people, they're being very sensitive, very fickle, talking about people talking against Trump don't agree with him as enemies to the state and terrorists, domestic terrorists. When did free speech in this country become domestic terrorism? This is insane. But this is the state of America. This is where we're at right now. You have to be treaded lightly. People like me gonna, have to be more careful. Now, the reason why I say I do believe there's going to be another attempt is because I told you guys, God gave me a gift of discernment, and sometimes I can hear spiritually, like I can hear things spiritually, and I heard, okay, because I don't know how to explain this. There is a demonic spirit over this country that basically puts ideas and thoughts into people's heads, okay? They implant ideas and thoughts into people's heads. They implant ideologies that they want you to think alone. Now, I've been here for years that these are machines, that they have machines all over this country that basically uses sound waves to put people under mind control. I don't know if it's also has something to do with this, but I heard in spiritually that there's not just one person that wants to off him. There's multiple. There are people in the government right now, CIA agents, that I believe are putting up plans. Like, you know what? If this gets out of control more than this, or if we get to this point, we're gonna have to do something because this man is, a national security threat. The whole Russia stuff, the China stuff, that's enough to say that we can't let this go any forward. If you think that there aren't agents in the FBI that have no name, have no addresses, that are literally living in the shadows of this country, that go out to perform missions for us that we wouldn't put anybody else under, because these people they're not abiding by any laws, no international laws, no domestic laws, and they would do things to people that are extremely illegal, but only to get the job done. That's why they hire them. There's people in this country that you will never learn their name. They don't have a social security number. They don't have a house address. They live under the radar, and they live very comfortably because the U.S. government pays them well. And they do jobs like that. Now, people that they consider to be domestic threats. Martin Luther King was killed by the U.S. government because he was, to them, a radical extremist for the black race. They didn't give a damn about the rights of black people. They didn't want them to have any rights. They wanted the slavery to continue. Now, the reason why they killed him off, because they said in these documents that were released partially, that he was becoming too much of a political figure. He's becoming too powerful in the United States. Now, what the heck do you think they think of Trump? What do you think they think of him? The only reason why he was able to get this far is not just because of his reputation and who he is. It's a spiritual thing too. This man's the Antichrist, and he has to continue for a time. Okay? That will never change. So when he made that comment talking about he could walk down Manhattan and Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and never go to jail, do you think he was joking? Do you think the Antichrist doesn't know who he is? Absolutely knows who he is. The Antichrist is completely aware of the plan that he is a part of in this country and in this world to bring the United States to its knees. It's all a plan. Now, two things can be true at the same time. Now, people look at Trump and they say he's stupid. The things he's done are the type of things that a very uneducated, unqualified president would do because he's an idiot. And at the same time, some people say, oh, no. You need to be careful. about what you're saying here, because you are looking at this as a financial thing, finances, and you're looking at the economy. What's the bigger picture here? What is he actually doing? Is he crashing this country? Is he bringing us into a recession on purpose? Is this more spiritual than you believe it is? Yes, that's what it is. And also the stupidity is not discounted, because he is actually stupid. He is slow. Elon is slow too. But at the same time, there's a bigger picture here. What what is Trump doing with some of these people that he's putting into certain positions? Unqualified. These people don't know how to do the job. For example, let's say I have an opposing company, right? Let's say I work in the oil industry, and there's another company that I just don't like. They keep buying up all these different factories, and they keep manufacturing and selling oil, and they're outselling me. What if I send an operative into that company and for somehow let that person ride the ranks until they get to the top? But the position at the top, they're unqualified and uneducated to have. So what's going to happen when you put an unqualified, uneducated person in that position? They're going to ruin it. They're going to burn it to the ground because they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's what Trump's doing. That is what he's doing. RFK, putting that man over the health department? That's crazy. That is insane. He doesn't know anything about that position. He doesn't know what to do. Now, some people will say, oh my God, what an idiot. And some people will say, that's genius. That's smart. Because you really don't have to do nothing. You just be hands off. You put an idiot in the role that he can't do. And now it's obliterated. That's what Trump is. As a whole, that's what he is. And the people he hired, that's what they are. You see, these similar spirits, they connect with each other because they are the same. What is Trump releasing? Old JFK files? It's old. And that stuff goes in circles anyway. It's just a distraction. It's a distraction. Nobody gives a damn about those files, because they already saw that stuff. It was nothing new. I think it was ridiculous. It's a distraction because he doesn't want a Weinstein and all that weird stuff with the trafficking to come out, because his name is all over that. And they keep asking him, are you going to release those? He's like, maybe. But JFK though. It's a distraction. Paris, I'm busy. But anyway, this man, this man here that people are looking at, they're saying he's stupid. Yeah, he's stupid, all right. But he's a stupid man with a plan. He's an idiot with a plan. He's a village idiot with a plan. The plan is to bring this country to its knees, and he's doing it. He is doing it. He will be, like the Bible keeps talking about, the Antichrist. He will be successful in the things that he does, the abominations that he does, okay? That's what Trump is. These people don't have their eyes open. These same Christians that were online talking about, and when the tribulation comes, when all this stuff happens, I'm going to stand up for God. We're the same people that put the Antichrist into power. Now, the ironicness of that does not escape me. The same Christians that say they're going to do this and that, and I'm for God and this and blah, 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 and they voted in the Antichrist. In an ironic way, the Bible prophecy still has to be fulfilled, and in their foolishness, they helped it to be fulfilled, that he would be worshipped. Look at them. When that man took that picture of his inaugural photo, that's when people should have known. That photo looked evil. I've never seen a president take a photo like that for inauguration. He looked evil. Musk is backing out of Doge. He said it was short term for him. Who will take over? And that's what I'm saying. Is it those snot-nosed brats that he hired? Because they need to go as well. Because if they oust them and they tell them to get out of there, them people are going to take all the information with them. They're going to copy that stuff onto files and all that. Musk is going to start using that for his companies. He's going to see he can see all the competitors and who's making what and how much and blah, blah, blah. And all of our personal data is going to take it to us, take it with him to his companies. All of a sudden, you're going to see all these targeted ads, all this stuff, Musk trying to sell you his cars, and all this weird stuff popping up on your phone, getting weird stuff in the mail. Because Musk has all your data. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I can imagine what other evil he'll use that for. Probably his bots. Stupidest trade war in history. Good Lord. Look at him. This is the man that people have put into office to run our country. This evil twat. Okay? God forgive me. That might be like a cuss word or something, but this is him. This is the man of sin. You know what? God has always told me years and years ago, before all of this stuff started getting revealed, that a lot of us would be very surprised about some of the things coming to pass, because a lot of us will be wrong. For a long, long time, people always thought of the Antichrist to be some type of a handsome man, that he was going to be this dark-haired hunk that was going to come on the scene, and he was going to give these speeches that, just glittering with honey dripping off of his lips. And this is what we got: an overly tan, overly boastful, chatty patty, bleach blonde, orange Fanta looking Cheeto ball dust of nonsensical rants and raves on all his speeches. This is what we got. Donald Trump. Who saw this coming? I didn't see it coming. I didn't think this was the Antichrist would be, but he fits a lot of the characteristics of the Antichrist. He just doesn't look like the person that we thought was going to be up there. Not this over tan weirdo that just rants and raves. His speeches are unbearable. But to the people that love Trump, they can't get enough of him. To them, his voice is like music to their ears. Whenever he speaks, I have to turn him off. I don't even want to hear him. His voice irritates my spirit. But only to the people that don't believe the cockamamie garbage that he spews out of his mouth. Only to them, they see it spiritually and they feel it, and they can't even listen to his voice. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. But to the people that love him, and the ones that will support me, like he said, if he shot a man in Park Avenue or in Manhattan, that he wouldn't go to jail. The same people that feel the same way he does, they're like, oh, he's great. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, President Trump. You're saving America. They're still, till now, they're still waiting for him to obliterate the tax system. He's never going to do that. I'll tell you what he will do, though. I believe that Trump is going to keep the tax system in place, okay, for all of us American people. And he's going to wipe taxes out for the rich. For those top 1% people, he's going to say, you know what? If you make this much money, you don't have to pay taxes at all. That's the plan. That's what he's going to do, because he's going to make it seem like, well, on paper, he's going to draft this up in his foolishness. Well, these people, they supply industry, they supply jobs to the American country, to America as a whole, the U.S. system, so they don't need to pay taxes. That's what the plan is. He's telling you he's going to get rid of the tax system, but he doesn't mean for you, not for you, for his people, his 1%. That's what he's going to do. He's going to tax the heck out of you, and he's going to keep them damn tariffs, and he's going to add more tariffs. These people are talking about, oh my goodness, this would be so great. I don't have to pay income tax anymore. He would never stop that. Like I said, the government collects trillions of dollars every year from you paying taxes. Why would they want that to stop? That's a gravy train for them. That pays their paycheck. That pays the cops, the firefighters, all that. And most of all, you line their pockets. Do you know how much people in the Congress even make? You would be shocked. And that's what he's going to do next. That's why I brought up the prophecy. I'm so sorry, I'm all over the place. But the vision I had. Hey, King. Hey, my friend. Salam, sister. Hey, my friend. I'm sorry, I was on a roll here. The vision I had about the people pointing that square device at the TV to vote, that's what's going to happen in the future in this country. People are going to start using their cell phones to vote. There'll be no polls. There will be none of that. It's going to be too advanced at that point. Okay? And the issue with that is people can hack into these phones very easily. China, they have systems, they have hackers and all that that easily hack into people's phones. They can do it. They've already advanced that, okay? They are going to start rigging these elections just like that. When the voting, watch this, okay? When the voting starts moving to the phone system where you only need to download a government app to start voting for your president and your senators, and there's no more voting polls, it's all going to be rigged because people can hack into those systems. Presidents can hire people to hack into it. Anybody can hack into it. It's too simple. There's no real protection on the internet. Those people on the dark web, they can get into anything. They just need to find a way in, just a small loophole. That's all they need is this small loophole to find a way into that. Now, bringing that up, let's talk about this whole issue with the strike that happened, where one of the what the heck, what position does this guy have? There's just so much going on, I can't keep up. But this guy that works in the Trump administration, I forget what position was, that they were talking about striking people, another country, on a freaking telegram or something. Now Trump is saying, oh, well, it was hacked, it was blah blah blah, there was a mistake. No, there wasn't. And there's people are saying China and Russia could easily hack into that. They're saying that if these people are using that platform that has no protection, that is not supposed to be used for government secrets and government communications, that they believe China and Russia already saw those messages before it happened. Now, this is very concerning because that means that what this tells me is, and this same man, yesterday, they found out that he was actually talking about private government, having private government conversation over Google Gmail. This man was sending this stuff to Google. With the most basic of hackers can get into your Google account. He was communicating with colleagues in Google Gmail, not just Telegram. Who else do you think has this information? Anybody. Mike Pence, after he left, after his term was over with Trump, they went to his house, and this man had boxes upon boxes in an open area of classified information. It was overflowing. Classified documents. It only takes one person to break into this man's house and get all those damn paperwork. If Pence and all these people are using, not even using any type of protective ways to get this information like secured, and they're talking on Google Gmail, what else do you think they're doing? These people definitely sending messages over Facebook. These people definitely just using their apps, their text app on their iPhones and an Android. I can guarantee it, because if they're sending stuff over Google Gmail, I can just imagine what else they're doing. These people are idiots. Our national security is more than compromised. It's flawed. It's broken. These people don't care. They don't give a damn. They have this information that's classified, and they don't care how they're getting this information back and forth. They don't care about you. In America, we have this thought, this idea in our minds that we are just way more secure and way more liked and way more regarded by other people than we actually are. And we have this whole falsehood in our heads that these people that we are supposed to rely on, supposed to trust, that are protecting our national security, that they're actually just sending messages through Google Gmail and Telegram. But that's what they were doing in real life. They don't care. Could you imagine all of the information all these other countries have on us right now? It's sad. It's sad. Trump seems to thrive on the redundancy of news. It's like he said he would fix something overnight. He talks big, but then moves on to something else before we can say, "Hey, you didn't fix that." Exactly. You put it perfectly into words, perfectly. And it's a campaign strategy. Like I said, sloppy Steve Bannon, you know, the guy that helped him with his campaign, that modeled his campaign after a Nazi regime. Steve Bannon says that this is a strategy that they use, that they talked about heavily in his campaign. They're gonna flood the market with news after news after news. They said that they need a minimum of 3 different stories that they need to push out every single day. And what they're doing with these stories and these outrageous headlines is a distraction. Sloppy Steve said it himself. He's on video saying it. He said that this is a strategic move. So now you're watching the news, you're getting overwhelmed, and you see all this crap about Trump, and you're like, man, this is too much. My head hurts. Let me turn the TV off. That's the plan. He wants you to tune out because it's too overwhelming. Once you tune out, he won. Because now he's really doing the work behind the scenes. And the real agenda is to burn America. He's going to take over this whole country. And the people of this nation, they're going to suffer because they're going to start crying out to God. God, why, why? It's going to become one tragedy after the other. Excuse me. It's going to be like a big war. It's a domestic war. He's going to start the war domestically, and then eventually there'll be a real war here. But the war is on the people first. He's going to overwhelm the saints. He's going to drive them mad in their heads first. And then once he drives them crazy, they'll just start folding because they're just like, oh, I'm mentally drained. I'm nothing else to give. I'm tuning out. I'm giving up. And that's when he's going to strike you. And the fact that, Trump, he's smart in the sense too. He's dumb and he's smart. He hires the people that are heavily opposed to him. Stop it. No, go sit down. Marco Rubio hated Trump. JD Vance hated Trump. There's countless people that Trump has hired that completely hated him. You know that this is actually a tactic by people that are extremely cunning, narcissistic, evil. People will hire their opposers. They will put their opposers into positions of power because that's how you shut someone down. If you have somebody that's loud talking against you, this loud figure, and they're picking up steam, like, oh my gosh, like this guy won't shut the heck up. Everything I do, he keeps exposing me. He keeps exposing my plan. What can I do to somebody like that? I give them a position. Because now they went from doing all this to, oh, I can't stand this guy. He's stupid. He's unqualified to say, I love Trump. Oh my goodness. He gave me a job. He gave me a bonus on my first day. He believed in me. You just shut down your oppressor. You just shut down your somebody that was negatively impacting you. That's a genius. That's genius. Marco Rubio didn't stop talking bad about Trump. He ran for president himself, and he was like, "Oh no, he's a horrible for America. Anybody that votes for him would be crazy to put him into office." This is stuff he was saying, and he's a Republican. Now Mitch McConnell hates Trump too. He's heavily opposed to Trump. Trump stopped supporting Mitch McConnell only after Mitch McConnell stopped supporting him. All he does talk about bad about him too behind the scenes too. Look what you did, Mitch McConnell. You created a monster. You had the opportunity to get Trump out of here. And he didn't. All right, I'm coming. But anyway, I've been out here long enough. Way more than I wanted to. I hope I got through everything. Let me see. Man, but anyway. I must say, Xi Jinping, he's having the best year of his life, 2025. All these plans that the Chinese had to destroy this country, especially domestically, they tried with COVID. They tried. I mean, it messed up a lot of things. Like, how can we get these people out the way? That's what they want. Like, how can we get these Americans out the way? We hate them. The white man is taking all the money. We need to be number one. That's always been China's plan. That's what they see America as. The white man's country that's taking all the money and all the glory away from them. And they see us as in somebody that's in the way. And now we're taking ourselves out the way with Trump. Xi Jinping, again, he's having the best year of his life, okay? We put tariffs on China to try to stop them. And instead, we angered our allies so much with these tariffs that in turn, we gave them business. Because all these other countries, all these other places, all of our allies are going to China. They're like, oh, you know what? Let's get this manufacturing deal. Let's get these factories going. Let's import all this. France is taking everything they can. Like I said, these tariffs, they act like these people don't have a choice. They don't have to do business with us. All these France, they don't have to take our money. They can go elsewhere, and that's exactly what they're doing. Trump's talking about how he's going to put all these tariffs on the auto industry, all that. He put tariffs on every imported car manufacturer. And he said that this is a plan to bring manufacturing back to the United States. That's a stupid plan. Because you know what? You know what these people are going to do? If they can't afford to have their business here, you know what they're going to do? They're going to take it elsewhere. Did he think about that? It makes me wonder, like, I am not a finance person. I don't not understand politics, even some of the basic things. So I have to look things up. Even I know that if these companies can't survive here, they'll just stop doing business with us. That doesn't mean that they're going to bring business here. They're going to leave. It just makes no sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to bring this country to its knees, and that's what he's doing. I noticed how Trump got vague on his response to earthquake disasters in Myanmar, saying we will help. We have spoken to the country. What the whole country? Yeah, he's not going to do anything. He just talks. He just answers questions with, like you said, vague answers. But I don't believe he's helping. He's only helping Israel. And he's barely helping Ukraine or Zelensky. Putin doesn't respect him. He's like, oh, you know, the Chinese government, they said that they really respect this guy Trump. They never said that. China hates us. They've always hated us. They just do trade with us because it's profitable. But once it doesn't become profitable, they'll leave too. They'll stop trading with us. Trump's plan is isolation. I don't believe he's going to help those people in Myanmar at all. All right. Okay, I'm coming. I don't think he's going to help them at all. First, he just says stuff. You can't believe anything he says because he just talks. It's just a word salad of nothingness, a word salad of foolishness and crap. Throw it at the wall because it means nothing. You got to watch what he does. And he barely does anything. Now, if they start coming out, people of Myanmar start coming out kissing his butt, he might consider it. Because that's what he loves. He loves flattery. That's the only way you get through to him. That's why those Republicans, they're so embarrassingly sucking up to him because he loves flattery. But I don't believe it. I don't believe he'll do anything to help them. You know what he's going to say? First, he's going to say, oh, yeah, we've been talking to them. We've been doing this and blah, blah. Then he said, oh, no, we can't do that. America first. Was it America first when you sent billions of dollars to Israel? Well, we can't even afford anything here? Food, nothing, groceries? Everything crashing? Why is he so hyper-fixated on Israel? Seems very Antichrist to me. I've never seen a president this obsessing and hyper-fixating on Israel. Why? That's suspicious to me. Antichrist? That's suspicious to me. This man is not who you think he is. And a lot of these Christians, you're going to end up needing to repent because Donald Trump, he's covered right now. He's hiding right now because he has to. Because God is not ready for him to be fully revealed. But once he is, you already think he's evil now. Once he takes off this mask that he's wearing, this pretending that he does, the evil on this country will be unleashed like never before. Now, people have been using terminologies for Donald Trump that are literally biblical. They call him the lawless president. Just like the Bible talks about, the Antichrist will be the lawless one. And it's not just one person, it's multiple people. They're saying stuff like, I've never seen anything like this before. It's in the Bible talks about how the Antichrist will be like no other. This man is like no other president I've ever seen before. He's done things I've never seen another president do. Spoke things that I've never seen. Like he himself is an anomaly. The Antichrist would always come on the world stage as an anomaly because there won't be anyone like him. Only Jesus himself can cut this demon down, this devil, Satan that fell from heaven. This is what you're looking at, the Antichrist. And the fact is, a lot of people in this country, and I can hear it spiritually, it's not just the government plotting against him, it's just regular people. There's regular American people, and I can hear it in the spiritual realm too. It's almost like small voices, and then the voices come together. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like little voices like, oh, we should do something. I should do something. I'm gonna do something. And then the voice just keeps getting louder. He should be concerned. He should be gearing his security up more because these people are coming for him. They're coming. But what they don't understand is you're not going to be able to kill this thing because that's what it is. It's a thing. It's not a person. This is a demon. You can't kill this. You can't stop this. Only Jesus himself can stop this thing. So whatever you're planning, just put it to the side and pray. Because what's coming to this country is like never before. You worried just about this thing destroying this country. There's demons that are going to be unleashed onto this country. Weather like you've never seen it before. Mudslides, freaking floods, all that is coming with him. He's not alone. There's anomalies that is coming with him. He's not just the anomaly. There's other things coming that you need to prepare yourself for spiritually. These concentration type camps that they're deporting these people to, oh, they're gonna make these bigger. They're gonna start expanding them over here. And they're gonna start putting Christians up in there too. Law-abiding Christians that just say, oh, I don't agree with that. I don't like what Trump's doing. I don't think it's fair. All of a sudden, these people are going to be disappearing from their homes. You're going to have black trucks pulling up to the front of their homes, telling them, you know what? You're a terrorist. We saw what you posted on social media. We saw what you said. Come with us. And you're not going to hear from these people ever again. That's what's going to happen. Now, these people laughing at these immigrants, they think this is a joke. Like, oh, yeah, thank God Trump is getting these people out of here. He's sent by God. God didn't send this. God did not send this. You guys asked for this. You begged for a king, and God let you have what you wanted. And now he's going to make you pay. The only time these Trump supporters are going to believe what I'm saying and what the rest of us are saying is when Trump starts opening up those camps over here. I'm sorry, I was looking at a text message. When he starts opening these concentration camps over here for all you people, black, white, Asian, it don't matter. You just got to be opposed to him, that's all. You'll never hear from your family again. You won't have no rights. Just like he did to that Arabic man. He never looks happy these days. Did he ever look happy? This is a miserable lying character right here. It's funny, Mark Cuban from Shark Tank, the basketball guy, right? He said that a couple years ago he met Trump, right? And I guess this is when he was first kind of coming up, right? When he was first building his wealth. And I guess he had seen Trump like I think next to like this pool area, and he said there was like these pretty beautiful women there, and they had nice food and blah blah blah. And Trump, he's such a narcissist. He's so boastful. He said he goes up to Mark and he goes pats him and he says to him, "Hey Mark, someday you'll be up here with the rich people like me." Who says that? Now this dude, even then when he was building his wealth, and he did have a little nice little account with some funds, he was just shocked and so put off by the statement that he made. Kind of like, oh yeah, one day you'll be up here with us big boys. This is who he is in his real life, a boastful character, fixated on attention, wealth. There's nothing redeemable about this man. One day you'll be up here with the big dogs, Mark, when you become worthy. Guy was. I'm hearing countless stories about Trump just like this. Even one where he was giving out these cufflinks and saying that they were solid gold cufflinks and they were fake. I forget what guy he gave it to. I think it was another celebrity. Like these are the type of things I hear about him in his personal life. Like people that have nothing to gain about talking about Trump, and they all had similar stories of a very like nasty character of who he is, a liar and a deceiver, just very deceitful, very boastful, very attention seeking, very classist. The dude said he was so shocked, he was so disgusted by his statement. He was just like, I hope to never be with people like that. Mark Cuban said that about him. Now, Kevin O'Leary, that's more of his speed. That's the type of person he is. And I see why Kevin O'Leary connects with Trump so much. And people like, Kanye West. You know how, you ever smell something and you say, that reminds me of something else. Yeah, you smell a similar scent. These people have the same scent spiritually. That's how they know each other. They say, how they say birds of a feather flock together? That's why Kanye likes him. Narcissistic traits. That's why Kevin O'Leary likes him. Narcissistic traits. Kevin O'Leary doesn't give a damn about people or the misfortuned people or the poor. That's why he was so non-caring when those people had him on that panel on the freaking news talking about how Trump is cutting, lunches, cool lunches for kids. He didn't give a damn. He didn't care. Because that's the type of thing he would do. If he saw that on paper and saw it as a budget cut and said, you know what, this isn't a way of me making money, let's cut that. He would do that in a heartbeat. No thought in process into that. No type of no type of mercy on that man. Because that's who he is. He sees himself in Trump. That's why he relates to him. This is who he sees himself as. Sad. Like I said, to the people, and I know there's many of you that are praying and hoping that Trump will leave, this thing is not leaving until God says so. And that's what I have to come to terms with. He's not going nowhere until God says, cut him down. Now that's all I got to share, y'all. I've been on here too long. May the Lord bless you. May he shine his light upon you. May the God of the Bible give you peace. Not only today, but forever and ever. And those who believe say amen. Amen, you guys. You guys have a good night or a good afternoon. Bye-bye.